He's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins and, of course, a star receiver with Yale. Although I'm looking at the stats and I can't find any stats from you when you're a wide receiver at Yale. I got a great picture here, Mike. I mean, you're jacked here.
Yeah, well, you didn't look up the blocking statistics? No.
Special teams tackles, maybe?
Friendships made. I led the team in that.
I'm going to have to take your word on that.
Yeah.
If you were looking at the player comp, like wide receiver, who best resembles your wide receiving skills when you were at Yale? Somebody in the NFL who plays the way you played. Well,
it's interesting you asked that. No one's ever asked me that, and I know exactly the answer. The antithesis of every receiver that is in a receiving core of mine. So, like, I utilized all of the known. Like, I would body catch and get no yak, and a lot of the things that I was incapable of doing, that drove my scouting as I became a professional coach. So, quite literally, if they're on our team, they don't share commonalities with how I play, because I knew what I didn't want, which was great.
Who was your idol growing up?
Well, I thought it was fortuitous that my mom named me Michael, because Michael Jordan was the end all be all, and will continue to be. If I ever meet him, I'll probably need a trust fall catcher.
Wait, you're in Miami. Mike's in Florida. You haven't met Jordan?
I'm not that big a deal, quite honestly. Most people, in public, approach me with IT questions.
You ever have to show your ID to get in the building? Any building?
So in my mind, I do. I think, I don't really do. I don't really put thought or give justice to, being a head coach, how much I'm on TV, and then like Hard Knocks. There's, so people do recognize me. I'm just always surprised by it continually.
If you weren't coaching, what would you be doing?
Well, I knew from a very young age that I needed to be passionate about something. I dabbled I wanted to be a coach my entire, childhood, with exception to, I think it was 6th grade. I had about 8 months where I was like, I'm going to be an architect.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have to be something that I was passionate about. And so, I was always going to go into football. I made sure that I wasn't just, single-minded, and I was fortunate enough to go to, Yale University, and I tried a summer internship in business. And then ultimately, it came down to, I wanted to be really good at something. And in business, I couldn't, I'm too empathetic. So like, I could see myself like, nah, I don't need that much percentage. And that's, I think there's a threshold on how good you can be in business. So I really don't know. Maybe a hand model.
Okay. Let me see the hands. Yeah, obviously you didn't get a lot of use at Yale, so yeah, they're looking pretty healthy there.
I mean that was hurtful. No, they did. I was really I took a lot of reps. I just I was a selfless player and made sure that I did all the non-point of attack routes in games. Not a big deal.
He's the Yale legend who led the team in friendships, Mike McDaniel, joining us on the program. All right, explain this cheat motion And what happened yesterday? And why are we calling it cheat motion?
Um, well, I think that's a phrase coined by my longtime work associate, Kyle Shanahan. We have we have another phrase for it, but that's for another time. But I think the one thing I've always enjoyed with football is like along the process when I was the grunt worker on the staff and trying to find value within a football team, it always made sense to me that you're problem solving issues, and that leads to advent or so being alongside the Shanahans for my entire career and being in different opportunities where um, I coached every position within the offense, and just problem solve or problem solution or solutions to problems. So like with fast guys, one of the tools defenses use is reroute. So I think last off season watching motion out of the backfield, and I think it was actually this week last year where we were in a joint practice and we tried it out for the first time to problem solve some of the reroute things we're anticipating.
So this
And
is
that's
Tyreek Hill. This is the Tyreek
yeah.
Hill rule.
Well, you know, actually the first person to do it was Alec Ingold. Yeah. So we did it with Alec Ingold, um, and then it was like, wow, that was cool. I bet Tyreek could do that really fast, you know? And then that's kind of how it went. But, I think when we first got here in 2022, Tyreek, we did, timing motions where, it was from the other side of the ball, but he'd go across the formation and we would start doing some of the routes, the deep 15 to 20-yard routes that we'd been doing systematically since I got into the NFL in 2005. So, that was new then. When you have certain types of football players that are willing to try new things and fail at it first, and not get down, and you're able to kind of press the envelope and solve some problems through a little creativity.
I'm looking at the resume. So Broncos, Texans, California, Redwoods, Sacramento, Mountain, Lions, Redskins, Browns, Falcons, Niners, Dolphins. That's quite a resume.
Yeah, I'm the oldest young guy you know.
But you're working with all of these guys. So you had Sean McVay, you had Kyle, and you had Matt LaFleur. Which person did you learn the most from those three?
Absolutely, Kyle Shanahan. He was like, he set the table for all of us. He hired all of us in Washington by way of his father, and he kind of trained us in the way that he was trained, and was very it was cool. Like at the time, some of his buddies at the Washington Post didn't think it was that cool. They called us the Fun Bunch. But it was, that kind of set a foundation. And during that time, in 2012, we drafted Robert Griffin III, and we had never done zone read. So we were all together, challenging the threshold of our own knowledge. We didn't like outsource any experts. We kind of had to problem solve. And, with Kyle and then his father, being the ultimate bosses. So, I think it was our formative foundation that I think you can see still today of how we kind of go about our business.
Is it possible that Tyreek Hill can be overpaid?
I mean, see, fortunately, my job specifically is to maximize players' skills, which ultimately maximizes their market value. And then I just dust my hands off and leave it to Chris Greer, the GM.
Okay, could he be underpaid?
Well, I think,
Probably not anymore.
I mean, I don't really have a good answer for any one of those, so I could pretend to answer it or just outwardly say I'm going to dodge whatever you're saying. I'm so done with talking about money.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
What are the expectation levels like for this team this year? I mean, everybody wants to win the Super Bowl, but can you have tiers of expectations there of we want to get here, we want to get here, we hope to get here?
Yeah, no, I think first, I set goals early, and as we get together as a team on this year, it was April 15th, tax day, and the first one is to establish and maintain a daily standard. I think one thing that we try to do here that has gained momentum every year, and guys are really taken to is that you have to. It's about doing the things that day. It's about being present and really attacking that day and then stacking that. And that anything worthwhile is you're honing your skills, and you can go down the line of anyone that was ever great and talk about deliberate practice and et cetera, et cetera. So it's doing that. Then you win the division to get a home playoff game. You win the conference, and you win the Super Bowl. One thing that I think I've expressed that I think the players understand is like a lot of times people put ceilings on their ultimate result or whatever simply by being afraid to be bold. We know that everyone says that. Can you go about your daily life to be all in with that type of mindset to do something like that? And in that process, you get the most out of yourself. And if it's short of what your goals were, be strong enough to learn from that and press forward. But don't, out of fear or hesitation or play it safe by not being all in. So I think all is on the table for our expectations inside the building. But what I am comfortable with that is because people's entire focus is like, all right, well, you're producing today if you even want to sniff those
tomorrow.
Provide action with those words today.
Final 30 seconds. If the current NFL coaches ran the 40-yard dash, where would you end up?
So if you could bracket the people in my age group, right? And pending there's an off-season surgery. I know Matt LaFleur pops his Achilles or tears his pec every year or something. I'd probably in the age bracket, I'd probably finish last of the younger guys.
Really?
But yeah, I mean, when I say that I'm an extreme person, like I work and then I'm a dad, and I'm saving working out till when everyone's saying to me you should work out. And I think I'm getting pretty close, but I haven't got there yet.
But you can take Andy Reid.
Yeah, yes, and like now, I'm youthful and exuberant, so I will be able to hold my own, but specifically with people that are older than me.
Yeah, you're sneaky athletic, is what you are.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Very, very sneaky.
Very sneaky. Very sneaky.
Sneaky.
Great to finally have you on. Thanks for joining us.
Well, in the words that I gave our owner Steve Ross in my initial interview, like, what took you so long?
Oh, no, we reached out.
I mean, what?
For
like,
2 years, we reached out.
I was born in 83.
No,
and my favorite show was SportsCenter.
Mike,
I was born in 83 and my favorite show was SportsCenter. I mean,
we were told maybe in the off season he'll talk to you.
Huh.
Yeah.
We need to get down to the bottom of
who's I have email correspondence.
Oh, okay. You know what? I need to walk that back. Miss Ann Noland is burning holes through my face right now.
Just saying, you were always invited.
Oh, okay. Well,
I go to Yale games.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're the guy there?
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yes.
No, quite honestly, it's very odd, but like I've known you so much longer than you've known me.
That is true.
Like, it's ridiculous.
That is true.
Yeah, you were like providing not enough Bronco highlights for me for plenty of years.
God.
Yeah.
I was the Tom Brady of SportsCenter. I got to do whatever I wanted to do. So I chose not to do Bronco highlights because nobody cared about them.
Yeah, that's a like a little soft flex there because I mean, if you get to be the Tom Brady of something, you know, but I've always admired your I'll say it, illustrious career.
Okay.
And it is a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Open invite. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, I won't, because where there's stranger, there's danger, and I want no part of that.
Good luck.
All right.
Don't screw up.
Thank you very much.
We're all counting on you.
All right. I'll if you need me, I'll be sweating here in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
That is Mike McDaniel, former hand model and led Yale in friendships.